welcome the rock buzz. Sly Stone has died at the age of 81, leaving behind one of the wildest, funkiest, and most enigmatic legacies of all rock and soul. The frontman of Sly and Family Stone wasn't just a pioneer, he was a full-blown revolutionary. Long before Prince, long before Outkast, there was Sly, blurring lines between black and white, funk and rock, gospel and psychedelia. He built a band that looked like America should have looked, integrated, diverse, and overflowing with raw joy and electricity. His band's 1969 set at Woodstock remains one of the most explosive performances ever captured on film. Sly leading 500,000 people in a sunrise chant of, "I want to take you higher," is the kind of footage that makes the word iconic feel small. He brought the party, but he also brought depth. Tracks like Family Affair and Everyday People weren't just hits, they were anthems for a divided country trying to hold itself together. But Sly himself was a paradox, a musical genius who could barely be contained by the studio or by life.
Will you just try and help me?
I am.
As the 1970s wore on, drugs, paranoia, and industry battles slowly pulled Sly out of the spotlight. By the 1980s and 1990s, stories circulated that he had disappeared, and in a way he had. At one point, it was revealed Sly Stone was living out of a white camper van parked on the streets of Los Angeles. No mansion, no entourage, just a legend in exile. Even in his absence, Sly's fingerprints were everywhere. You hear him in Prince, in Lenny Kravitz, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Kendrick Lamar. He redefined what a frontman could look like and what a band could sound like. And when he showed up at the Grammys in 2006 with a mohawk, shades, and barely a word spoken, it was like a UFO had landed. For a brief moment, we remember just how much of the modern groove came from this man. At this time, it is unclear what led to his death, but given his long health struggles, it's not a surprise. What is surprising that he made it to 81, for a guy who spent decades on the edge of greatness, of chaos, obscurity. That number almost feels like a miracle. Sly Stone has left the building, but the building will always echo with his sound. Woodstock, Soul Train, The Dick Cavett Show, and even that brief Grammy appearance. Let's remind people who this man was before the industry forgot him, and before the streets became his last stage. Rest in power, Sly.